Let's do this. Wow. So,
Yay,
me
let's
and
do
Vale,
this.
yes, welcome everyone. Me and Vale are super excited to share our insights of this season, of this week, all the things that happened for us that brought so much transformation and really embodiment, empowerment, and more freedom, basically, and courage to become who we really are. And we just wanted to have a call and just share and like, how are you doing, what is happening? Oh. And then we're like, well, let's record it because we thought that this could help so many people as we collectively are moving through a lot. And so many people also answered my stories and posts and like, oh, I'm also going through this, I also cannot sleep, I'm like, oh. So we are like, okay, let's do it. Like, how can we share things that are collectively helping the transformation of these times? So here we are, and we were like, where do we start? Because there's so much to unpack.
So many topics, and it's definitely happening. There's something collectively happening, and I'm trying to not follow so much like astrology or like to not get very rigid in your reference, right? But
Mm.
there's definitely something cooking in the sky, and it's just like so obvious. And yeah, like so many people from my circles and from my community, they're also going through a lot. There's a lot of fire. There's like the fire of transformation happening, and it's been really sweet. And I feel like so grateful to, yeah, have shared like the last at least 1 week or like the last days very like intimate with you, and I feel like so supported, and I also feel like this deep resonance. So yeah, I joined the yeah the mission of also sharing with whoever can benefit from it.
Yes, yes. So I can start from the revelation that I had this morning, and then we can maybe go backward from today to the days before, as we
Okay.
are kind of moving through both of us. I feel revelations through relationships and how we are basically deconstructing our illusions and ideas about what keeps us trapped in cycles of victimization and this romantic love story that is super sell as like, oh, if you get this then you are happy, then it's just being deconstructed in my mind right now. And it was
Mm.
really interesting this morning, because as I said, and I am committed now to just wake up at 4:30, no, sorry, 5:30 in the morning, and I just meditate
Oh
for
my
an
God.
hour or more. I'm like just deepening into this practice, and I just go deep, and I'm like, wow, oh, so good to just be listening. And this land also of Paraguay is really calm and still, so it's really welcoming this state. And I could recognize, it was crazy this morning, I could recognize like how my mind is addicted to find a thought, to consume, to stay attached to that idea of being, oh, for me, oh, but this is not happening, or
Mm.
this person is not calling, why, oh, it should be doing like
Mm.
this, and then I was really feeling like, okay, the brain wants to go there, but what is here, like the exercise was to really like let go of that addiction, because it's really like addiction, and then drop in the body and feel like, oh, okay, what is here, like what is present, because I felt like the majority of the times the way in which I avoid myself is because I am not wanting to take responsibility of my power. And where is the power? The power is in the body. The power is in this incredible form that we inhabit and that God created for us to just make manifest our purpose, our gifts. So where is the gift? I was like, oh, the gift is in the body. So I was just constantly working in my meditation to do this. And like every time that my mind was going again and like, oh, da, 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 and then repeating the story, whatever story, like the mind attaches to anything. Like, oh, but that
Mm.
message, it meant that thing. And then I was like, wow, you're crazy. Like the mind is so crazy, wants desperately to get confirmation of the story. So it will find anything to get the
Mm,
confirmation. And at that time I was like, okay, just breathe, recognize it's not the truth. It's real in your imagination, but it's not the truth. What is true? Like behaviors are true. What is the reality around you now? What is true? And what is in the body, like? And then I started to develop this feeling, and then ideas of my mission came, and more like groundedness in like what I want to do, like how can I develop this idea, or I can. But it was like more feeling like, okay, so now I have to do it, now I'm responsible for this now. Oh. And it's really, I felt like this resistance to really take my power back and make something out of it. But at the same time, it is what we have to do. Is like the behavior is to go into the addiction, and the
mm,
process, the transformation is really like to bring it inside, go in the body and say, okay, what do I do with this now? Like, what is my responsibility right now on the planet? And the responsibility comes from being connected to what is true in the body. Like, this was my revelation this morning, and it was, yeah, quite beautiful to witness, because then I was just laughing, I was just like, okay, so it's
wow.
just an exercise. It's just an exercise. Every time I go into the addiction, and I treat it like I am recovering from an addiction, because it is proper.
Mm,
I am just like, we are all addicted to something. And at this point, we are addicted to thinking about the story to convince that we are the victim. So at that time,
mm,
okay, so how do I change the narrative of my life? Because if I want to help the world, and if I want to bring something useful, I need to get out of the victim state. So to do that, I need to be
mm.
empowered. To be empowered, I need to move different in my psyche. So it's just like, okay, let's just do the exercise. Let's just recognize when I'm the victim and just change it. So it was incredible. It was really good.
Wow. And I feel like that's kind of a deep layer of self-intimacy. Like when people talk about intimacy, like the mind tends to go into physicality, right? Or like for so many people, intimacy means sex, let's say. Or even for more like another layer is emotional intimacy, which is also very beautiful. But isn't it like the most intimate thing ever to be able to sit with your own mind and to just like investigate it? Do not have to judge it good or bad. This is right, this is wrong. You just navigate there and go there with curiosity. And
Yes.
fuck, this is like where the magic happens, no? Like when you can actually really witness what's happening inside without having to attach a meaning out of it or even like an emotion out of it, right? And for me, as I also been like super mental the last month, I would say even longer. I'm still like a person with a lot of air, and I'm very mental and like I go a lot into reflections, like self-reflection, but just I'm like thinking all day long, right? But what I discover is that like I don't have to be like a slave of that. I can also like be a player in there, right? So it does feel lately like I'm kind of just like dancing with these thoughts that are just like coming, and I've been just like journaling so much. And while I'm journaling, I'm just like having so many like insights, and I'm just like channeling stuff, and it feels really good to be able to have a mind that can provide. We have like the layer of the mind that it's painful thoughts that is related with pain, but we also have this very high mind, like high, yeah, that it gives you actually where the creativity happens basically, and where, yeah, when you are actually able to establish the right communication inside yourself, you can also like put it outside. And yeah, I just like I love to be able to do that and to translate what's happening and like maybe saying it and putting it in words so other people can resonate and feel part of it, feel part of, and this is how we build community, you know. Also, like the concept of community has been coming a lot because I've been just like having so many like deep talks with people lately, and it feels amazing. It feels like, you know what, like the more you are able to show yourself vulnerable, and the more you're able to say, like, I'm going through a lot, shit, this is happening. And like, I don't know, like the more that you are able to do that, it's just start like flowing like this new layer of friendship and new layer of love. And
Yes. Yes.
and yesterday I was just talking with this friend also. I actually was this morning, and I started just like crying because she was listening to me with such a receptivity. And I will just like, it was just on the phone, right? And like I will just like look at her, and like this thing start coming, and it's like I've been all my life looking for God. Like I've been all my life trying to reunite with God. You know, since I'm very young, I feel like that's my mission somehow. But because we have these archetypes that God is like somewhere in the sky, you know, like it's this kind of faraway thing that we need to grasp. I've been missing that God is just exactly in front of my eyes all the time. God is relationships. We are God in human form. The more you step into relationship, the more that you are able to be in presence with someone, you are reaching God like more and more and more. And I was just like, I look at her and it's like, oh my God, like,
I'm having so many insights while you speak. I have to write.
yeah, I'm also like taking some notes.
Well, can I speak, or you want to share something else? I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
there's
please,
so
let's do
many.
like a ping pong.
Okay,
Yes.
because I had now just two beautiful insights. One is about this mind addiction thing, and the other one is about God and our relationship with God. So the first thing that came while you were speaking is about like once we recover from any addiction, like for example, in my life, I've been really purifying my body a lot now. So I'm quitting like things like layers. I'm quitting alcohol, I'm quitting sugar, I'm quitting coffee, I'm quitting, like all things that give a variation to our sensitivity and that block me from feeling more. So the more I let go of more things, the more I attune better to God, to reality, to truth, whatever it is. And I feel that once we restore a healthy relationship with addictions, then we can go into the object of addiction with more example. Now with coffee, that I have detached from it and I'm not addicted anymore. So I don't need coffee in the morning. Now my relationship with coffee is like, oh, now it feels nice to have a coffee maybe with a friend and have a nice, go to a nice bar and enjoy the smell and the sensations but I'm not. So I, while you were talking, I was like, wow, so we can do this with the mind too. Like now I'm addicted to a specific way of thinking, right? So if I
Mm,
detach from that, if I detach from I have to do solve or complexity, or I'm addicted to just find, like the patterns of the mind are very intricate. But when we
mm,
learn to detach from them, then we can engage with that in a way that is healthy, that is like, oh, actually, this type of way of thinking, what can support me to do in this moment of my life, or this ability to investigate, to go, for example, I love to understand how other people are wounded and how their emotional like intelligence in the spiritual realm and how everything interlocks and the bloodline and the generation. I'm like, okay, I'm kind
mm.
of, I thought I was going into an up psychosis at some point because I was going a bit crazy with investigations. But now I'm like, wow, actually, if I'm not addicted to that, this can be an incredible tool to have, in my life. So it's amazing. It's amazing. This thing is like all about balance and healthy relationship on things. And yeah,
Mm,
this connects also to this aspect of God, because I feel like we need to really understand that it's a it's understanding our healthy relationship with God is also understanding our right relationship with God. Like we are God, but we are creators of God. Like we are creatures of God. And the moment that we have this
mm,
awe, this fear of God, which sometimes from scriptures and text is translated as fear of God, but in reality, it's like wow, it's like wow, it's so majestic that I am like
mm,
oh, like wow, creator, how did you do this? Like it's a aperture for a revelation. Like this awe creates aspects of like wow, reverence, reverence for this
mm,
incredible create. Like my hand, like when I look at my hand, I'm like, how did you do this? It's like perfect.
mm,
I can make things on the earth. Like everything is so perfect that when you actually tap into what it is, you can have just awe and revelation. And I feel like we
mm,
can really embody the purpose for which God created humans only when we come into this right relationship with God. Because then we don't play God anymore. We feel God and we serve
mm.
God through our understanding of why he created us. He, she, it created us. So yeah, it's like incredible.
Wow. I feel like also when you were speaking, I saw like this kind of image that, now I'm kind of understanding God as inside more than like outside there. It's both, right? God is everywhere. Everything is God. Every aspect of creation is God. Even like the most horrible, disgusting, uncomfortable things. This is also God, right? Like we're living a very dual world. But actually, I think what we need to understand more, like how it's helping, is like you have kind of got insights like in your core, right? Like it's like we have this, like we call it also the source. What is actually your source? It's like your core, right? Like when I feel like I connect with the concept of God or being held by something, I do feel like kind of, if I can put it into an image or like even like in a sensation, I feel like I'm a kind of in a bubble that is just like super cozy, it's kind of a golden bubble, and I could feel like I've been held there as much as I'm also so connected with the love I'm feeling in the heart and like the relaxation in the belly. It's like it's both things at the same time. So yeah, like I feel like when we are tapping into the concept of God as is somewhat something like out there, is we're embodying the archetype of the children. We are child, right? Like we are son or daughter of God, which is beautiful, and we need to have that soothing. We need to have that feeling of we're being held by something bigger, but at the same time, and I feel like this is the part that many of us we have sometimes trouble to own, is that we also have the same, we have a part of the power of God, and it's coming from here. And it's like kind of this toroid kind of thing, right? Like if you put it in an image, it will be something like this. It's emanating like that, right? So it's both movements. It's a movement of surrendering, of like of praying, of like yeah, or just like being held by the planet you are, or being like held by this force that's like going down, as much as it's like really feeling your core, your love, your strength, and the peace that can be hosted in your body. Both. So it's like very inner and also like very outer.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
yeah, like it's like everything is fractal, right? And like I feel like now I wanna worship God by how well I treat people,
Mm-hmm.
regardless who they are, like by how kind and well and at service I can be for people. Like you are a goddess. Everybody is God, right? So the way for my for worshiping now, for being devotional now, I want it to be that. Sometimes it also means to put boundaries on people,
Oh
because
yeah.
sometimes there's like, yeah, that's also love, you know? Sometimes there's a clash there, and it's like, where is my self-love ending and my love for you beginning, right? But we don't need to grasp up that with the mind. Like, as long as you are actually in the consciousness of knowing that we're all gods, then these
Yes.
little roles and these little things are happening and they're part of it, and you don't need to add a story to it. You know,
Yeah.
like you don't need to add any past story to any of these things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and just to add something in that, I feel like what has been coming into my equation lately is also like, at the end of the day, what's happening, I feel, we're like being thrown to the fire of transformation, if you want to put it, but basically we're just experimenting ego death.
Yes.
So many people like just experimenting ego death. Myself, I just went through like a couple of them, very big, very transformative, and I understood something so valuable. And maybe it's not even I'm not even capable of putting it in words because it's quite an experience, right? And it should not be reduced to words. But this much I can say is that I've I saw myself how intricated my mind can be about justifying my own behavior instead of just calling it what it is. I'm afraid. I'm fucking scared. This is just
Okay.
fear. Oh my God, like this is just like that's the very base of it. But instead of just assuming that, I will go into so many like labyrinths and make like a story, and then like I'm behaving in this way or in this other way, and like with a lot of pride and like and justifying like a story of whatever rejection or ta 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 ta. And I saw it kind of from above, you know, like the eagle. That's why I'm using an eagle today also. Like I saw it from above, and I'm like, and I kind of hear this voice. It's like, Valentina, you're just experiencing fear. This is just fear. Wow. And this happened, I think, like last night and this morning, and it was so fucking humbling. It was so humbling because this is the most human thing ever. And there's nothing else more to do than just put compassion there. Like we are just experimenting fear, and fear has many masks, and it has like many ways of very sneaky to get into your stories. But
Yes.
at the end of the day, if we're able to sit with it and offering compassion to that fear, this
Yeah.
is when fear just needs to be felt and let go. And at the end of the day, this is also like the conclusion that I came. For example, I've been identified my entire life with this duty of having to be brave, like this, like my very name, Valentina, means Valentia, which is like bravery, is courage. So my entire ego has been built under the idea that I always have to be brave. So it became like an identity, right? And sometimes I find myself in very stupid situations. Like, why did I do that? Just to prove myself that I'm like worthy of my name or something. Like this is an ego trap. Anyway, but the conclusion that I came is that we actually don't even need to be brave. It's not about courage. It's not fucking about courage. It's actually about connection with God. When you're like just so deeply connected with God, you're just trusting. You just have trust. When you have trust, you don't have fear. So you don't even need to push yourself to be courageous. It's just that it's just happening because you have love,
Yes.
actually. And yeah, that's it. Oh my God, and like, yeah,
Wow, 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 wow. I love it. Oddio. Ah, at the end, it's so
yes,
simple.
yeah,
It's so simple, but not easy. It's simple, but not easy.
mm,
And it's just really a process of where is your commitment. Like, I feel in all this work, what we need to have very clear is our intention and commit to do the work, because for these things there's no shortcut. Like, we are speaking from now years of self work and years of understanding how our mind works, and working with the
mm,
body and releasing somatically and doing sessions and prayers and things. And so to these things we don't reach intellectually. Like, whatever we are receiving now is not an intellectual understanding of reality, and we have language to express certain things, and then language reaches the the others through like the mind translate things, right? But these teachings, this wisdom doesn't come because we read books about enlightenment. These things come because we commit and we surrender our heart to the path. We surrender our heart to work on ourselves, and we have faith. Like, the key I really feel in these moments, in moments where I am more struggling, or where I am like, God, I cannot do this. Like, sometimes I'm like, I did all of this, but this, God, I cannot do. And then I'm like, but yes, so what? So what? It's just like, trust. Like, if it's there in the path, it's because God knows that you can do it, and that you will do it, and then you will make it, and then you will just do other things. And this aspect of faith is the key for everything, for having an intention, for
mm,
creating a practice, for creating anything. And then the revelations come, the understanding come. It's really not about, again, going in the mind and trying to unpack things, and then like, oh, how do I solve this? Because there's not really nothing to solve. It's like a
mm,
commitment to deeply feel, because it's really about allowing ourselves
mm,
to feel. And then when you were sharing this aspect of like, oh well, I'm just afraid, and I need to
mm,
recognize to myself, like, this intimacy with the self. As the other day, I was recognizing, I was like, oh, I am still angry at myself for what I have allowed this person to do with me. And I was still,
mm,
part of me was so afraid for letting other people crossing my boundaries and hurting me. It's because I, in the first place, didn't honor the sacredness of my body, of my power,
mm,
of my womb. And in that moment I felt like, I'm not angry with the external world, I'm not angry with the person, I am angry because I haven't protected myself. So how do
mm,
I bring these two parts together again? How do I, like, feel compassion for the part that didn't protect me, and at the same time,
mm,
like, feel sorry and repent, and like, I'm sorry, and at the same time the other part is like, how can I trust again? How can I trust myself again, knowing that this time we learned the lesson? I know how to
mm,
protect my space, my love, now my heart. So it's just this work of constant intimacy, and with God and with yourself, and with prayers and with
mm,
intention, and the path just unfolds. It's not a mind path. So,
mm.
wow, it's yeah, it's a lot.
Wow, it's a lot, it's a lot, and you know, like we are just very fortunate that we have been building the resources to be able to have the time, the heart, the mind to reflect on these things. And I feel like we are very privileged in that way. and not everybody has the same access to it. So I also been feeling like I cannot take for granted my privilege. Like if I've been given the time and the intellectual resources and the spiritual resources, and if I'm in this path, it's because there's no other way. I actually don't have any other choice than sharing it. And how I share it is my option, it's my choice, but we should be, this is what we came here to do. Like, and our soul knows it. So when you're not doing it, it pains. And it pains like existentially. And then we are distracting ourselves with cheap dopamine, right? Because we're trying to cover that pain. Dopamine, this is what it does, no? It's trying to cover up for a pain, but the pain is deeper and it's existential. It's the pain that you feel when you know that you are not aligned in certain way. And there's no way of covering up for that. And I feel like, yeah, this is the time that we need to get very real with what we came here to do, very real to confronting ourselves, to assuming and admitting when we have been afraid, and to forgive ourselves. It's also about forgiveness because yeah, whenever we did not do or we did wrong or whatever, it was just like the presence of fear. When you put compassion into that fear, then it just dissolves, right? And it's through the grace of God, definitely is through that. And it's like also I feel like for me stories help a lot in like to put kind of things in archetypes and characters. Like I'm a storyteller, so it helps a lot. I'm feeling like okay, I'm an employed. I want to feel like I'm an unemployed from God. You are working
Mm,
for God.
yes.
That's like the right hierarchy of things,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know? Like you're an entrepreneur or you can call yourself an artist or whatever,
But
but
it's true.
you're not doing it for yourself. You're actually you came with a mission and somebody's actually checking on you or like somebody's guiding you so if you can put it in that way like your entire life is a work for God, and it comes naturally that that's actually having a devotional life. It doesn't have to look like you're going to temple to pray or meditate every day. It has to look like every day you know from inside that you are here to show up for what you came here to do, which is like I'm a communicator of God. How do I how yeah I shape that today, and how do I shape it on the time, no, on with yeah.
Wow.
But I like this kind of metaphor. Like I studied filmmaking, for example, and like you will have the director, the executive producer, and then you have the producer kind of thing. So I'm feeling like this kind of divine trinity somehow. It's like who is like God, the Holy Spirit, and then like Jesus somehow, like the one that has the mission, right? So it's like, all right, maybe I'm actually like my executive producer, like I should listen to him, to her, you know? So
Right.
like,
Wow. I love this metaphor. Wow. Yes. Yes. Otherwise, you just do things random. It's just like no point in doing the action. There's no point. Wow. I love it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And it's like it's the most pleasurable and fun job in the world. Like it's actually you're creating your fun by working. Like there's no separation also. And that's when life gets so juicy, right? It's like, wow, you get the freedom of doing whatever the hell you want as long as it makes sense for what your soul came here to do, and you're gonna be absolutely supported. So how can we strengthen that? It's not even a belief. I feel like you reach to a point of a knowing. You wanna
Yeah.
have you wanna ground yourself in the knowing of it, which is very different than having a belief. A belief is from the mind. It can start from there, but when you have the experience enough, it becomes a knowing, and it's already kind of encoded in your body, right? So every time that we forget, we need to ask to be remembered. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, these things of
yeah,
being always provided for,
reminder. Yeah.
being supported.
Mm,
It's like so true. At the beginning, when I wasn't really trusting too much, it was just again an idea. Like I was having faith on it, but I wasn't really like,
mm,
oh, I didn't feel it.
mm,
Now I'm like, oh, I know. I'm like, if I
mm,
as long as I walk with God and I serve, because at the end, our purpose, what is our purpose? To serve humanity, to be at some kind of help to others. As long as
mm,
I am in that, I am provided for
mm,
because it's an exchange of energy, and God will always give you what also it's all about. God is has this ability to understand how much we can really hold and
mm,
recreate, like give back of what he gives. So it's always like if you are not in a mission, he's not giving you money because you will not use it for the mission. So some people are like, many,
mm,
I feel like many spiritual people, like spiritual in this people in the spiritual communities sometimes are super broke, and they're like, yeah, I'm super spiritual but I have no money, because they are
mm,
lost. We are just lost children, just spending time in the communities, having mushrooms and doing things that are just ego, self-centered. And then we're like, oh, but I'm broke. Yes, because what are you doing? Like what's your service?
mm,
And that's the risk of the new age spirituality, I feel, that gets you trapped into all these
mm,
mind things and understanding and three, five, six, seven dimension, and then the planets, and I'm channeling other spirits, and I am a reader of soul, kundalini, and then you're just lost. So it's like
mm,
so much bullshit. So God cannot give you what you cannot master and hold and recycle and give back to humanity. So that I also understood now, that it's just about
mm,
wealth, it's about abundance, it's about how much we can really steward. It's like about stewardship of the earth. So it's really like,
mm,
as you were saying, is really a knowing. You start to understand how God works through your work, through your relationship with
mm,
the earth, the community, your service, and yeah, really like being an entrepreneur, an artist, like being on your path is the greatest spiritual journey that we can do, because I feel it's really like bringing the spirit into the flesh, bringing the spirit into the material reality. Like, okay, I am an embodiment coach. Yes, but how do I do it in this reality? I have to create a website, I have to create this thing, I have to create a marketing, I have to create a channel, I have to promote myself, I have to sell tickets, I have to make the class. Then you create
mm,
a structure to make the gift that is the heart, that what God created you for. Then you have the structure to share your gift. But without this
mm.
thing, you cannot really do it. You just stay lost in the world of, I'm so spiritual, I don't do these things. Like, yeah, because it's another fence of illusion. It's just another way in which you don't take
Yeah,
responsibility of yourself. It's just another victimization stage. So yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of like narcissism. I mean, this is a word that it's been super overused, but there's a lot of like self-centeredness
Yeah.
or selfishness, I would say, in like the spiritual community somehow. It's true, like we have lost the point of what we're doing. Or like also, I feel like the people that we are reaching are people so similar to each other, like exactly like us, when actually we should find ways of like using the privilege to reach to the people that they don't have access to it, right? So yeah, like this is one thing. But then I'm thinking of, do you know this guy that's kind of channeling like an entity that's called Bashar?
Is the guy that is no air?
Both.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, so I've been like following him lately, and one of the things that is super simple and it shares is like, when do you know that you are in your path? Is when you're actually, you need to just like follow your enthusiasm. It's following your enthusiasm and like finding what's that for you, how that looks like, right? Um, but I feel like where he's sharing in that way is like it's actually about this is where pleasure and spirituality meet. Because like the biggest pleasure that we can have as pleasure is the soul pleasure. It's the pleasure of knowing that you are in alignment with your mission, right?
Ah,
Like this is like the
yeah.
highest pleasure that we can experiment.
Oh my God.
Like all the other pleasures of the flesh and all the other pleasures are like just behind that. Like, you know, they come, but like, isn't it like the most orgasmic thing ever to actually know that this is what we came here to do? We're coming to reunite with God, and the way that you do it is through that alignment. And
Ooh.
yeah, yeah. And wow, I'm telling you that, and I just read like a card that I took this morning that's Sacred Union from
Mm,
the Rumi Tarot,
mm,
Sacred Union.
yeah.
And I feel it's related also with what you're saying because this structure that you are saying that we need to give each other, to give ourselves, I feel it's kind of that the Shiva for the Shakti, right? When you're actually putting these two things together, you're in sacred union. And I feel it's like it's time for us as women, and maybe we can go to the other topic, which is more like about relationships now. But I feel like it's time now for women to really understand what is sacred union inside.
Yes.
Yeah, like I myself, I have to confess that I've been for a long time in kind of the path of perfecting myself to attract like the right partner into my life, for example, right? Like, and I don't know, I have read all the books, I have listened to all the coaches, I have doing a lot of inner work and blah blah blah. But then I understood something super important this week, and I feel this is the game changer, is that you can never attract something that you are not. So I have to face myself. It's like, why is this thing not happening yet? Why is this person not coming into my equation yet, right? It's like, is there actually more Shiva to ground myself inside? And if I'm really honest with myself, it's like, fuck yeah, I still have not reach to an structure of my life, of my mission, of everything. I'm pretty much like going there. I feel like proud of my efforts and where I've been reaching, but I'm still not in a place that I can say this is done because I'm still like kind of in the longing of it. I'm still coming from a place that I want something. When you already have done everything, you are coming from a place that you are magnetizing and attracting from your identity. Like I have become this someone. There's no other way that I'm not gonna attract into my field the mirror of who I am, right? So why am I even like bothering about attracting whatever other person, right? Why even is that even in my no? Like I felt like it's time for me to put the intention and the focus inside and like doing the uncomfortable thing of, yeah, becoming the secret union inside, becoming like strengthening the Shiva that my Shakti is needing. Like I have so much Shakti,
Mhm.
but maybe it's been kind of all over the place. It's time to understand and to build my Shiva.
Yes.
That's it. And if you're not getting it, or if you're not doing it on your own, God is gonna slap you and put you in the right path to
Yes.
do it. And sometimes we actually need that those slaps, right? Like,
You really need.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's what's happening. That doesn't mean that you cannot have a beautiful relationship in the meantime or whatever, whatever. And there's also, I don't believe this in that you have to be full healed to attract like a very whole partner or whatever, whatever. No, like we are also accompanying each other on the way, but it's about relaxing. It's about when you can breathe in the peace that it will come when it needs to come. Isn't it beautiful that you don't need to stress about it and that your only concern should be how to align more with God? That's it, nothing else.
Oh my God. I'm going to listen again to this part whenever I'm demotivated, you know? I'm like, okay, just go back to this part. Just align with it's so true. Oh, wow. When you said this thing about the longing, like the longing is exactly how we stay in the victim state, because when you're like,
Mm,
oh, but if I had the possibility to create a website and a structure to organize my clients, but you never do it, you're like, oh, but it's not
mm,
my responsibility, I will do it one day, but I'm so victim now, I cannot make it. Because that's, you wait for something to save you outside of yourself, and this is the victim. This is when you feel you don't
mm,
have power, you don't have the choice. Like lately I've been feeling also this potency of the word power and choice, and
mm,
to rewire the pattern of victimization, we need to recognize that we have the power to choose different something. And
mm,
you choose different action, you choose a different thought, you choose a different narrative of what is true for you. Like I'm not like,
mm,
oh, this happened to me and he betrayed me and he did this to me and everything, so I have the right to be a poor victim and wait for someone that will save me. Or the
mm,
narrative is, wow, this happened and this happened and I felt in this way. And now I know my value. Now I know my power. Now all these lessons, because through relationships, really, I feel like God is teaching us a speed up accelerator course training on how you take your power back, basically. So it's like, okay, Zila, you want to serve me, you like, because my prayers were like, God, I just want to be with you, I just want to, because I was very innocent. So when you pray very hard, God is like, okay, let's go, bam. So he sent me the best relationship to just ah, ah, open. And then I'm like, okay, God, thank you, I got it. But now I know my power, and what maybe through just not, I feel like some lessons we can go through and understand them, maybe also with meditation, but what could what could take me 10 years of meditation to achieve, through this relationship I did it in like 1 year and a half, because it was like
mm.
so much process, so much trigger, so much thing. Oh, I'm so, this happened to me. I'm so desperate. And then the ego was stripping away, and the ego was just dying, dying, dying. I spent 1 year and a half crying on my floor. It's just like, okay, this will ever
Oh
end.
my God.
I'm like, okay, I'm just dead. Like, there's nothing else. There's no Svea left. There's
Wow.
just another thing. And it's just like it works, and God is like, okay, I did exactly what you said, I answered your prayers, you see now. And I'm like, I see. Now I'm very careful what I ask for. Crazy.
Wow. Wow. I think, I mean, yeah, sometimes we co-create these kind of painful experiences because we need to remember what we are not. Isn't it
Mm.
that like the entire point of, I feel like there's like a higher energy of the ego and then there's a lower energy of the ego. Like we need ego for sure.
Mm.
We need to, that's in the also like a container of our human experience. If you believe you're like a soul having a human experience, that's a container, right? But then we have this very kind of shallow ego, which is just memory. It's like the memory in our mind, the memory in our body, even like cellular memory of the history that we live, right?
Mm.
And the thing that happens is that there's this kind of entity that we can, yeah, that normally we call it ego, that it takes over your identity. Like,
Mm.
so we need to be really careful of when we're doing I statements, where are you doing them from? Like, are you doing it from your history? Because the past doesn't even exist. The past is also a story. Like,
Yes.
it's a big, like, it's like the accumulation of stories. This doesn't have absolutely, if we don't, yeah, if we don't give that power to that element, it doesn't have absolutely any power over us. It's just that we are so attached to the need of having to have an identity, we're mistakenly putting that identity into this history, when actually the shift that we need to do is we need to attach our identity to God, because we
Hmm.
still have the need of having an identity. How can you give the best identity to yourself that you can possibly have?
Yes.
So it's like, how can you make yourself grounded in the knowingness that you are a child of God? This is your main identity.
Yes.
After that, I don't know, you're a woman in your 30s. After that, you are, I don't know, semi-nomad, you're an entrepreneur or whatever that you want to call it. But
Hmm.
but an identity that you should never have is like, I had this trauma, I went into this childhood wound, ta 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 ta. Ta. Like, this is what's actually creating all the karma and all the mess in our lives. Yeah, yeah, I feel like I saw that. Like, if I want to decide I am not all of these narratives and stories, it's up to me. And I have actually that choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a matter of choice. And I feel like the psychology that we're coming from, like from Freud onwards, was really deterministic. It's like, if you had this experience in the past, it will mean that you're in your adulthood have all these implications.
Uh-huh.
But it's not the only psychology that exists.
Yeah.
And there's other currents that are telling, like, actually our main identity as human beings is the power of choice, is our
Yeah.
freedom of choice, and in that freedom we are choosing who we are at any given moment.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy if you think about that God created the free will. Like the
Mm,
fact that we have free will is God's creation because God wanted us to be a sovereign beings as he is, as she is, as it is. So we are created as in and at likeness and image of God. God is chose to know itself. So we have the power and the faculty to say, you know what? I want to be a rebel. I want to be far from God. I want to be, drink and fuck and having sex and just having, like be not with God, like completely separate from God. And God is like, do it. Like you can live separate from me. You can do life without me. But you can also choose to be with me. Like God loves us so much that gives us the choice, the free will to choose if we want to walk with Him or not. So it is an
mm,
empowered, you know, if you choose God, you know you choose God. And this for me is like
mm,
the most incredible, benevolent manifestation of God's love. Because it's like, I love you so much that I will make you experience all the ways and all the things and then at some point maybe you will find me and then you will understand my love because I've been there all the time, even if you when you hated me, even
mm,
if you wanted to run away from me. And then it's like, and then
mm,
when you choose it, it's like, oh, now I feel the love of God and it's incredible and it's just
mm,
infinite. I don't know how to describe it when I feel this presence in my life and when I see all the details and how God curates the, I don't know, some anything. And I'm like, wow,
mm,
I feel like thank you. And this essence, and I've been working and praying with Jesus a lot lately. And I'm like, wow, like the essence of Jesus.
mm.
I'm I cry most of the times when I perceive him close to me. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
now I understand why Christians sometimes they say they you just need to love Jesus and everything,
Mhm.
is okay. And I'm not Christian, and there are many things that Christians believe that I feel they are also blockages to perceive the true God. And maybe we go there in another time in another podcast. But I feel like the essence of Jesus really teaches us what true love for another, like love for your human brothers and sisters is.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's incredible. It's incredible. So yeah, I'm super grateful for these revelations of these times, because it's so humbling, it's so empowering, so transformative, and so like clarity, like chum chum chum, hey Svea, let's go, like shaking but with love,
Oh my
like
God. Yeah.
Svea,
Yeah.
come on, wake up, let's go, this is the direction, this is the mission, we're doing it. Like, okay.
Yeah, all this energy in areas, no? Yeah, oh my God. For me, it's been also the same. Yeah. And I have one more thought about kind of to complete the topic of the free will. Yesterday, I got a tarot reading with a very good reader from Chile, from my country. And she mentioned that this year, it's the year of the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh yes.
Okay. And I didn't know this before. She was like describing what it means, that. But one of the things that she told me is like, wow, this makes so much sense. It's like we need to find a balance between surrendering to whatever the universe is presenting to you, like as possibility, as opportunity. We need to be like really receptive of what's actually the context and yeah, what it's coming to you. We need to find that balance as much as what you really want and your willpower to go for the things that you want. It's like in the middle point. Then it can
Yes.
become like a co-creation. Then you are responding to what's available and creating from there what you want next. But it cannot be either or. You cannot be in a totally passive way of like, yes, I surrender and I'm just like passively waiting for things to happen. And then you can also not go to the other extreme of like, I'm gonna make all these things happening regardless of what you're not reading the room, right? So it's like
Yeah.
this dance, it's this middle, right? Like which is like the flow. And that's kind of the Wheel of Fortune. It has like a lot of different elements on it, but it's like how can you actually, yeah, dance with life? And and when you find that middle ground, I think it's like it becomes a game actually. Then you can enjoy like it's like a game, right? It's
Yeah.
like things are synchronically happening. You're like tuning into synchronicity finally, yeah, right? Like you're not finding so much resistance as if you are like so much in your willpower but not surrendering. And you're also not finding like all this passivity and dullness if you're actually not taking action as well, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
just in the middle. Mm.
So beautiful. Yeah, and this is like, for maybe to conclude, I don't know, when while we want to go on, maybe we can do this, and then next week we can do
Yeah.
another.
Next week we do the next one, yes.
Yes. I was just feeling now this aspect of the listening, like the our action, like where our action come from in this dance of surrendering and listening to what universe give, but also what is our action. And some people I know that are like, I don't know, like how do I know? And the answer is in the listening, like the seed of the purpose is already inside. It's not something that we invent. It's not something that like, oh wait, I have to find my mission, or I have to, like, and this connects to what you said before about follow the enthusiasm, follow what makes you feel alive. Like for me, sometimes I've complicated so much my purpose, and now I'm like, Svea, just
Mm.
dance, like just make
Yeah, me too.
people dance. I'm like, Svea, you have to make people dance. It's very
Yes,
simple. And I keep complicating, and I resist
Oh
so
my.
much because I know so how much power this holds, and I'm like always like, oh God, I'm not ready. I have this idea, I have this other idea, but oh, I'm not ready, and it's like, oh,
Mm,
it's so there. It's like if you open your heart and you like, I know what I have to do. And it's what I've been doing all
mm,
my life. It's just there always. So it's actually very simple. And yeah, so this for, people that are maybe struggling with finding what they have to do is what you love doing. Just do it.
mm.
Just do it.
Just do it, and sometimes it's like by doing what you really love that you are raising your frequency. You're already like really elevating your frequency. And what we need is that to get the spread.
Yes.
Sometimes it's as simple as that. It's like I'm gonna put myself out there, elevate my frequency, and contage people around me. And
Yes.
it's as simple as that, and it actually fucking works. Like
Yes.
from that, yes, we can put another structure. Let's create a workshop. Let's create this, and that. From that, you escalate. Maybe you're, I don't know, building like a company around dance or whatever. But this process is not force. This process is just like an expansion of that original enthusiasm. It's an
Yes.
escalation of it, right? Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Wow. And it's so easy. Like it's not like again, it's simple. It's not easy sometimes, but it's simple. Like simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And whenever we complicate
I love
things
that.
too much, yeah, when we
Mm,
complicate things too much is because we are again stuck into a victimization pattern, and we are not seeing the truth for what it is. Some revelation that God gave me lately is really about this thing. Like things are simple. When you complicate them, it's because you are stuck. It's because you have learned to complicate things as a coping mechanism, but it's not that. Sometimes you just have to accept that the truth is simple. People are how they behave, punto, and you
mm,
are what you do, punto. And then I'm
mm,
like,
mm,
okay, that's it. Like, there's no more discussion. People are what they do.
mm,
And whatever, oh my
mm.
God, because he behaves in this way, because he has this wound, so I have to be compassionate, la, 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 la. No, not really, because you're not honoring yourself. So,
Mm.
yeah.
I mean that can have also a layer of truth for sure. Like if you rationalize cause and consequence, everything has a cause and consequence, and yes,
Yes.
but real emotional intelligence is when you actually can understand, but not act from, yeah, not act from like having to cross your own boundary to remain in that understanding to the other. Like understanding is already like the ultimate compassion. Like you don't need to overextend yourself
Or save.
to.
Sometimes we want to save others, right? We want to
Mm,
like, oh,
mm,
let me save him, let me save her, so I will be a good human. And then when is everything gets messed up, because then you just don't know how to listen to yourself anymore. You're just like over giving, but not
mm,
from a space of feeling good in yourself. You overgive, but you empty your cup. So then you are like, oh, now
mm,
I want to give I want something in return. But then you're like, it's
mm,
complex. So
mm.
yeah, then you go into
Definitely.
complex.
Yeah, let's put that topic for the next
Yes,
episode
I love
because
it.
there's so much there's so much food in there to be
Let's
to
do
eat,
it.
and
Let's
yeah,
do it. I love it.
yeah,
Wow, Vale,
yeah.
I love it. I love this so much.
Me too. We should put a name on it. I mean, we develop the thing later, but as a pilot of a very deep conversation and very playful also, I love it. Yeah.
Wow, I feel we are a perfect combination of how we create thing. Like we have different perspective, and then it's like it's amazing. I love it. How we co-create stuff.
Yeah.
Ah, amazing.
Wow, thank you. I'm feeling. a lot of enthusiasm in my belly and kind of like a spiral of excitement. Like
Me too. I'm like a child, like my feet are like this.
I'm like, me too.
I'm so excited. Oh, wow. Thank you for your time,
Mm,
for your sharing. So beautiful. Mm.
Thank you,
And for
sister.
everyone that is also listening, thank you so much for getting to this point. If you're here, it means it was something interesting. So leave us a comment or anything. What helped you the most would be amazing to hear from all of you. And I think
Mm.
see you all next time.
Yeah, and if like anybody listening wants to like get deeper into one particular topic, you can also leave that comment so we can kind of explore it. And yeah, we can even do a little investigation and then like having also more in depth for like a specific topic. So you can leave us any suggestions about it.
Yes, let's do it. Wow, I love how this is coming so organically. It's just like God guided this thing. Okay, let's do it.
Yay! I love you.
Bye. I love you.
See you. Bye.